DK Metcalf, Nate, had ran his 100-meter dash in 10.37 seconds. However, it was not enough to advance to the finals. Okay, he came in 15 out of 17 total, and in the last race, he came in last place among 9 during the USA Track and Field Golden Games and Distance Open in Walnut, California. But let me tell you something, Nate. We got to give DK Metcalf a lot of credit. Okay, he proved how
Absolutely.
fast he really was. He ran a 100-meter dash in 10.37 seconds. That is amazing. He held his own, Nate, against those 9 guys. Because if you look at the video, he was right there. And he was, I think he might have been in the lead at one point. But again, during the later part of that race, these are, again, like I said, these are professional sprinters. They ended up getting ahead of him and they ended up beating him. But again, before I continue, this source for this article was Brady Henderson, ESPN. But let me talk about DK. I'll start off first, okay? We got to give DK a lot of credit here, okay? But we talked about this too. I said, look, I thought he was going to come in 4th and 5th place. He came in 9th, but he ran really, really fast. Name. We know DK Metcalf is fast, but we said it before and we'll say it again. These are professional sprinters, okay? These are guys who can hold their own against the very, very best, okay? And we talked about Usain Bolt and how he's the fastest and how he was a year out of retirement. And he ran a 9.29. Okay. And we said, let's just suppose the average was DK Metcalf's like 40-yard dash if they were to ever run a 40, which is what? I believe his 40 was like 4.36 or something, 4.35, something like that. So I said, let's suppose that was the average for them running a 40. Well, obviously, I want to say the average for like the 100-meter dash after watching DK do it. If he did it in 10.37, I want to say the average is probably like 10.33, maybe during those races. So look, man, I gotta give him a lot of credit. And the first place winner might have had like 10.2 or whatever, or 10.2 like 5 or. But I gotta give DK Metcalf a lot of credit. He really did race a great race, you know. And you look at him; he was a lot bigger than the guys too. He was a lot bigger. So I would really like to see how DK Metcalf would do in a track event if he cut weight. You know, I want to see if DK Metcalf cut like 20 pounds. I want to see if he actually beats these guys. And that's a question I'm always going to have. But again, you know, as of now, you know, I think like DK Metcalf, I got to give him credit for stepping out of his comfort zone or stepping out of the NFL and going right back and going right into track and racing there against professional sprinters. But obviously, you know, he's got to get ready for the NFL season for the Seattle Seahawks. You know, they got a big season coming up. It's going to be a pretty difficult one for them, considering the fact that San Francisco is getting better. The Arizona Cardinals made big strides this offseason. So it's going to be very, very tough for the Seattle Seahawks. So I think the LA Rams are a very good team too. So it's going to be very tough for the Seattle Seahawks. So I think most likely, as of now, probably focus on that. But if he could cut 20 pounds, DK Metcalf during the offseason and try this again, I think DK Metcalf could possibly win this. I really do. You know, I'm not taking that out of the equation, but even though he came in last, he did run a very good race. You know, he was holding his own against the very best, and these are professionals as well. So I want to see what DK Metcalf does with a little bit more training, and maybe if he loses a little more weight, I want to see how he races. But with that being said, you know, I wish DK Metcalf the best of luck in the future. I wish him the best of luck towards this NFL season coming up. And again, we'll see what's in store for DK's future. See if he. I would love to see him do this again.
Yeah, absolutely. So would I. And I actually seen a video of it on the internet. I'll put it in the description down below if you want to go check it out for yourself. Yeah, dude, this dude ran fast, and for someone who had very little training going into this, on someone that that doesn't do professional sprinting, he does professional football. You gotta give this guy credit. You know what I mean? You really do, and there's really not much else you can say because, again, professional football player versus professional sprinters. You know what I mean? And he held his own. You know, he did what he had to do. 10.37 seconds in a 100-meter dash. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, DK did what he had to do, and there's really not much else for me to say. I love to see him do it again. Obviously, he can get a little bit more time. He could train. Um, he could do a bit more training. You know, like you said, he can cut weight. But cutting weight, I don't know if we mentioned this before. Cutting weight is extremely dangerous. So you got to be very very careful about that. Um, but
Right.
yeah,
Right. Sorry to cut you off. Well, the
yeah,
weight thing, the process of that is like usually when we talk about weight, we talk about like boxing and UFC.
yeah,
So when you look at weight, they got to do it within a certain amount of time, which is why it's so dangerous, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Now, obviously, you know, I said like probably 10, 20, between 10 and 20 pounds, you know? And I don't think that's really that tough. Like, again, I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
And again, if he does it like if he manages his time wisely, he could definitely do it. Now if it was like, all right, this event comes in 6 days, let me cut 20 pounds. Yeah, that's not healthy at all. And obviously some athletes deal with weight loss more better than others or worse than others, depending on the situation. But I think in DK's case, if he cuts like about 10, 15 pounds, like during an off season, if he gives himself enough time to do it, I think he could definitely end up having a chance of winning this.
Absolutely. And if he does do another one, again, I wish him the best of luck. I wish him the best of luck going into the new NFL season. And yeah, we'll just see what happens.